Take a deep breath. Now hold it for a moment. Feels simple, right? But what if I told you, you've probably been breathing wrong your whole life? In a world obsessed with diet, workouts, and biohacking, we've ignored the one thing we do 25,000 times a day, breathing. And according to science journalist James Nestor, that might be the biggest mistake of all. Welcome to the summary of Breath, the new science of a lost art. This isn't just another health book, it's a wake-up call. A journey through ancient wisdom and cutting-edge science that reveals how something as automatic as breathing can transform your health, sharpen your mind, and even reshape your face. So before you take your next breath, stick around. This might just change the way you inhale and exhale, for the rest of your life. Welcome to Ease of Education, where knowledge meets clarity and growth begins. We believe true freedom, whether on field of finance, self-improvement, or entrepreneurship, it starts with the right education. That's why our mission is simple, to bring you deep, meaningful book summaries on self-improvement, entrepreneurship, and financial literacy that don't just inform, they transform. Our videos may be slightly longer, but that's because we value depth over shortcuts. We focus on giving you the full picture, not just surface-level ideas. No fancy graphics, no unnecessary distractions, just pure, practical wisdom that speaks directly to your goals. Every video is crafted with care to help you build confidence, sharpen your thinking, and take smarter steps toward financial success. Here, it's not just about learning, it's about growing together. Subscribe and let's turn your curiosity into confidence, one book at a time. What if how you breathe is silently changing your face, shrinking your brain, and draining your energy? Sounds unbelievable, right? But James Nestor's book, Breath, reveals it's shockingly true. In just a few months, monkeys forced to breathe only through their mouths began to look different. Their faces grew long. Their jaws slackened. And their expressions turned dull and lifeless. All that, just from mouth breathing. Imagine what it's doing to you, every single day. Wrong breathing, the hidden damage. Breathing through the mouth might seem harmless, after all, air is air, right? Wrong. Mouth breathing actually transforms your body in all the wrong ways. You lose 40% more water with every mouth breath. Your brain performance takes a hit. A Japanese study showed that rats who were forced to mouth breathe grew fewer brain cells, and took twice as long to complete a maze compared to those who breathed through their noses. And this isn't just about lab rats. A shocking 90% of children today show signs of facial and airway deformities, simply because of bad breathing habits. Yes, 90%. Why it's a silent killer. Mouth breathing doesn't just dry out your mouth or cause bad breath. It reshapes your face. It narrows your airways. It lowers oxygen efficiency. Over time, it leads to snoring, sleep apnea, fatigue, and a weak immune response. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. On the other hand, nasal breathing is your body's natural way of protecting and powering itself. It filters air, boosts nitric oxide, improves oxygen absorption, and even helps shape a stronger, more attractive face. Start with nose. Did you know, your nose gets erections? And that it's more connected to your genitals than any other organ? Yep. Your nose isn't just for smelling flowers, it is a flower, opening and closing throughout the day and night. Stick around, because what you're about to learn about your nose might just blow your mind, and breathe new life into your body. Section 1, The Secret Life of the Nose. We breathe through it every day, but the nose is way more powerful than we give it credit for. It clears, warms, and moistens air for easier absorption. It's literally the perfect filter nature designed. Inside, the nose holds erectile tissue, yes, the same kind found in the genitals. That means, when you're aroused, your nose responds too. They're biologically synced. And here's the wildest part, Your nose can expand and contract just like your pupils or well, you get the idea. Right now, one nostril is doing more work than the other, and that's not random. It's by design. Section 2, the two personalities of the nose. Your nostrils are like two teammates, but with very different roles. Right nostril equals accelerator. Think of it as the gas pedal. It raises your body temperature, speeds up heart rate, boosts cortisol. It's wired into your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight mode. It even fires up the logical side of your brain, language, strategy, action. Left nostril equals brake. This one cools you down. Literally. It lowers blood pressure, calms the mind, and eases anxiety. It connects to your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side. It even influences creativity and emotion, tapping into the abstract, imaginative, and reflective side of your brain. This is why ancient yogis practiced Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. It's not a spiritual myth, it's neuroscience meets breathwork. Section 3, Superpowers of Nasal Breathing. Let's take it even deeper. Breathing through your nose releases nitric oxide, a molecule that boosts circulation, supports immunity, improves mood, helps with weight regulation, and even enhances sexual function. In fact, nasal breathing can release 6x more nitric oxide than mouth breathing, increasing oxygen absorption by 18%. That's a biological upgrade. The more you breathe through your nose, the easier it becomes. It's a muscle of habit, train it, and your body transforms. And here's a powerful real-world example. George Catlin, an explorer in the 1800s, studied 50 Native American tribes. Guess what he found? They all breathed through their noses, exclusively. And they shared the same physical advantages: wide jaws, perfect teeth, and what he called superhuman health. So next time you're feeling anxious, tired, or unfocused, close your mouth. Open your nose. Because your nose isn't just for breathing, it's for thriving. Life-changing fact. What if I told you the biggest predictor of how long you'll live isn't your genes, your diet, or even how often you hit the gym? It's your lungs. Yep. According to one groundbreaking study, the most significant indicator of longevity is lung capacity. Not how rich you are. Not how much kale you eat. It's how deeply you breathe. Movement equals bigger lungs equals longer life. But here's the good news. You don't need to run marathons to grow your lungs. Even moderate movement, like a daily walk or a bike ride, has been shown to boost lung size by up to 15%. That's a massive increase. And more lung volume means more oxygen, better immunity, sharper thinking, and yes, a longer life. So, next time you go for a walk, remember, you're not just burning calories. You're literally expanding your life. One breath at a time. The power of slowing down. Want to transform your body, lose weight, boost your brain, and live longer, without lifting a single dumbbell? The secret is slowing your breath. Sounds simple. Almost too simple. But slow nasal breathing isn't just calming, it's life-changing. Breathe. The hidden fat burner. Let's bust a myth right now. You don't lose weight by just sweating it out or burning fat. You exhale it. That's right, for every 10 pounds of fat burned, 8.5 pounds leave your body as carbon dioxide through your lungs. Your lungs are your fat-burning engine. And the slower, deeper, and more intentionally you breathe, the more efficiently that engine runs. The science of slow breathing. Research shows that slow, deep breathing relaxes your body, sharpens your mind, prevents chronic disease, and boosts athletic performance. Every healthy cell in your body thrives on oxygen, but here's the kicker. When you breathe normally, your lungs only absorb 25% of available oxygen. But when you breathe slowly, with longer inhales and exhales, you soak up more oxygen with fewer breaths. That means less stress, better focus, and longer life. Ancient wisdom, universal truth. Cultures across the world, from Japanese monks to Native American tribes, Hawaiian healers, African rituals, Taoist masters, and even Christian prayers, all landed on the same breath rhythm. 5.5 seconds in. 5.5 seconds out. This isn't a coincidence. This rhythm is called resonant breathing or coherent breathing, and it synchronizes your heart, brain, and nervous system like a symphony. It's meditation without needing to meditate. A breath of truth. You don't need more apps, more pills, or more effort. You need less, fewer breaths. Slower breaths. Better breaths. Because breath isn't just life. It's your best kept secret to energy, weight loss, longevity, and peace. Less, breathe less to gain more. Want to burn fat, build muscle, and boost endurance. Just by breathing less. Sounds crazy, right? But that's the magic of hypoventilation training, also called the Buteyko method or hypoxic training. Instead of sucking in more air, you train your body to thrive on less. And the results? In just a few weeks, athletes increased endurance, lost more trunk fat, improved heart function, and gained muscle, all while breathing less during workouts. Even asthma sufferers saw huge improvements. The Papworth method reduced symptoms by a third. Because here's a golden rule: mammals with the lowest resting heart rates live the longest. How do you lower your heart rate? You guessed it, slower, fewer breaths. And once again, we circle back to the perfect breath. 5.5 seconds in, 5.5 seconds out. Chew, the jaw-dropping truth. Your face is shrinking. Your mouth is collapsing. And it's all because you stopped chewing. Let that sink in. Our ancestors chewed for hours every day, raw roots, tough meats, fibrous plants. And because of that, they had broad jaws, perfect teeth, wide nasal passages, and no braces. Dr. Weston Price traveled the globe and found this was true across almost every traditional culture. Then came processed food, soft, mushy, overcooked. The result? Crooked teeth, smaller airways, shrinking mouths, weaker faces. Today, we barely chew. And it shows. But there's hope. A device called BioBlock has shown to expand airways by 30% in 6 months. The internet's buzzing about mewing, and while the hype varies, the core idea is true. The more we chew, the more stem cells we activate, the denser our bones become, and the younger we look and the better we breathe. Want to reshape your face? Chew more. Period. More, but only sometimes. Sometimes, more is better, especially when it's done right. In small, intentional bursts, intense breathing, like tunnel breathing, can act like a shockwave of healing. Some studies have seen a 40x reduction in inflammation markers in just a few weeks using this method. Why? Because it wakes up the vagus nerve, the body's on-off switch for stress, healing, digestion, and more. But here's the catch. Sympathetic stress, your fight-or-flight mode, can be triggered in 1 second, but it takes over an hour to return to a relaxed state. That's why you need to train your breath like a muscle. Use power breathing occasionally to reboot your system. But live your daily life in slow, quiet, efficient breath. Final breath. What we're really learning here. So what have we learned? Breathe less, but breathe better. Slow down. Chew more. Move more. And sometimes, breathe like fire to cleanse your body. This isn't just breath work. This is biohacking with oxygen, the ancient wisdom now proven by science. Hold it, the power of pause. What if the key to mastering your anxiety was just holding your breath? No, this isn't woo-woo, it's neuroscience. When we panic, it's often because our amygdala, the brain's fear center, is overreacting. But elite athletes, deep-sea divers, and breath masters, they've trained something else, their chemoreceptors, the sensors in our body that monitor carbon dioxide. Regular people panic when CO2 rises. Great performers stay calm, even under extreme conditions. This is why breath hold training builds mental resilience, emotional regulation, and physical endurance. Even in your daily life, it pays off, especially if you're one of the 8% of office workers constantly stuck in partial attention mode. Breath holding snaps you out of that fog, fast. So next time you're spiraling in anxiety, try this. Breathe in. Hold it. Let stillness teach your body a new reaction to stress. Fast, slow, and not at all, the language of life itself. In every ancient culture, there was a word for breath, and every one of them meant the same thing, life. Prana, Sanskrit; chi or chi, Chinese; ki, Japanese; pneuma, Greek; ruach, Hebrew; orenda, Iroquois. These weren't just poetic metaphors. Breath was seen as sacred. And now, science is finally catching up. Over 70 studies from places like Harvard Medical School and Columbia show that techniques like Sudarshan Kriya, a pattern of fast, slow, and no breath, can heal chronic stress, autoimmune pain, mental health, even inflammation. Healed through breath. You don't need prescriptions. You need a pattern of breathing that shifts your nervous system into its natural, balanced rhythm. A last gasp, the breath never ends. Here's the most hopeful truth of all: your face is still growing. Most bones in the body stop developing in your 20s, but not the face. The bones in your face, your jaw, your nasal cavity, they can remodel and expand into your 70s, and maybe even longer. Why does that matter? Because the more space your face makes, the better you breathe. And the better you breathe, the better you live. So no matter where you are in life, 15 or 65, your body is listening to your breath. Changing, adapting, healing. All it asks in return. Just breathe. Right. The breath that changes everything. So, what did we just uncover? Not just facts. Not just science. But a forgotten truth. That how you breathe shapes how you live. That the breath is the remote control for your body, your mind, and even your future. You don't need expensive gear. You don't need years of training. All you need is awareness. A slower breath. A stronger nose. A conscious choice. Because your breath is how you lose weight, how you heal anxiety, how you age slower, how you tap into calm, energy, and clarity, and how you rebuild yourself from the inside out. If this video changed the way you see your breath, imagine what's coming next. Like this video if you felt something shift. Share it with someone you care about, because the people you love deserve to breathe better too. Subscribe for more science-backed, soul-deep breakdowns that reconnect you to your body and your potential. This was more than a book summary. This was a wake-up breath. And now that you know, there's no going back. Breathe light. Breathe deep. Breathe right.